So you really think you're going to make it big on YouTube? It's not if, it's when. It's 1 in a billion. I'll be that 1 in a billion then. You think you're a shit, don't you? I think I don't give a shit what you think. You're nothing, you're just a kid. You are living in a fantasy. And you're mad because you're afraid to take a shot at your own dreams. Is that why I make $3,000 a month and you make $800? And that's why I still live with your parents. When are you going to grow up? Never. What you don't get is, I don't work for money. I work for people. I work so that others live better. I work for love. You work for material things and status. You want others to look at you. I want others to change because of me. So I want you guys to understand something. I want you to understand that I didn't make this video to talk about how I'm going to get big on YouTube. The video was not even about that. It's not even really about YouTube. It's about the fact that if you're a little different, if you do things a little bit differently than everybody else, you're going to be called out. You're going to be constantly challenged by the status quo. Because you're not taking the same path as everybody else. And I'm not saying that everybody else that does the 9 to 5 is bad or different. I'm saying that I understand that. I understand why people would want to do a 9 to 5 and it's completely acceptable and there's nothing wrong with it. And if that's what you want to do and that's your idea of success, then I fully encourage that. But a lot of the people that do that go to college to go to a corporate career, corporate job, they put down the people that are different. They put down the people that drop out of high school to build a product, to start a company. They put down the people that don't go to college, that instead live with a bunch of roommates, 6 to 8 roommates in a small apartment to build a company or start something new that doesn't exist yet, that maybe is going to take a lot of thought and is going to take a little bit of suffering and maybe take a little bit of grinding, a couple of years where you're only making hundreds a month and not thousands. And a lot of those people that have already built up a career and they're already working for a corporate company and they're making thousands a month, they're not going to understand why we choose to stay in a house with 8 other people and grind and build this when we could just easily go out and get a job and make $2,000 or $3,000 a month within the next 4 months. But we spend years, and to other people it doesn't really look like we're getting anywhere, and even sometimes to us it doesn't really feel like we're getting anywhere. In my situation, I still live with my dad. There was a point where I was able to move out and then some things kind of fell down. 2015 was a really, really hard year for me. I kind of had to reset, and it really, really humbled me. There was a point in my life in 2015 where I thought, this is it. I'm going to be financially free. I've got this idea that I'm working on. It was a speed reading app. It was called Kindleline, and I've went into this before on the channel, but the app was to help you read faster and use the saccading of your eyes to kind of advance how fast you read, and it used a line that went across the bottom of the words that would go faster as your eyes sped up. As far as the saccading, when you read a book, your eyeballs kind of move from here to there to there to there. If you watch my eyeballs really closely, you can see here's one movement, here's another 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 movement. Each movement is called a saccade, and so I worked on this app, this software that I wanted to sell to Amazon Kindle so that readers within a couple of months could increase the speed of the saccading of the eyes. And I worked on that for a while. In 2015, I worked on a couple of different companies that I really wanted to get out there, and I even had a team of investors, some of which were billionaires, and I pitched to them. At the end of the day, what was needed to make it work didn't exist yet, and Amazon really wasn't about it. It just wasn't going to go. It's something that's still in the back of my head that I could do in the future, but yeah, I think for me, I really need to stick to fitness. how do I put this? So there are things that you're passionate about and problems that you see that should be solved. And as an entrepreneur, you want to go after all of them. Anytime you see something and it's a problem and you think it should be solved, you want to go after it. But it's like uncontrolled enthusiasm, and that can get us in trouble as entrepreneurs. That can lead us into a path where we're spending years and sacrificing everything for something that might not work for us. So what I've found that is working for me, slowly but steadily I can see things progressing, is finding what genetically you're above average at, finding your strengths genetically, whatever that is. Find that. Whatever that is, find that. However long it takes you, look for that thing that makes you superior to others in some sort of way. Find that thing. As long as it takes, put the time into that. Find that. And then find what you're really passionate about, what makes your heart sing, what means everything to you, the thing that you think should be in the world, the service, the product, the person, the character, the brand, whatever it is. Find that and start working on it and put your heart and your soul into it. Do everything that you need to do to get that to grow. And it's not about making money. It's not about getting material things. It's not about other people seeing what you look like, what you're going through, where you are in life. None of that matters. Like, who gives a shit how big your house is? Who gives a shit what kind of car you have? Who really gives a shit how much money you make? Because when you're gone, when you're dead, when you pass away, what does that matter? Like, it's not going to matter. What's going to matter is the impact that you've had on humanity and everything. Have you done something that has allowed the human race to move forward and go in the future, go in the next direction that the human race needs to go in? Or have you spent your entire life really not doing too much? So at the end of the day, I want to be remembered as a guy that contributed and did something that actually made a difference. That's why one of the people that I'll look up to the absolute most out of anybody is Elon Musk. And if you guys don't know, I'm a huge science nerd, and I've followed everything he's done, from PayPal to Tesla to SpaceX to the exploration to Mars to trying to commercialize Earth to Mars, which is supposedly going to take about 50 years, to even the underground tunnels that he's working on. I know this is in a weird, different direction than fitness, and I really, really apologize for that. The point is, as an entrepreneur myself, the space that I want to do things is in fitness, and I have a lot of really, really huge ideas, services, products, all that sort of stuff, and a lot of people doubt me, and I've failed a lot. I've been on this since I was 14 years old, and it takes a long time. It takes a long time. You see someone succeed, and it's not because they're lucky or they're special or they're in some sort of elegant situation that only happens to the few. It's because they worked really, really hard. They cultivated their skills. They learned about people. They learned about the economy. They learned about the holes in the economy, what people like, what people need, the markets, all that sort of stuff. And they came up with things over time that could actually contribute to society, that could contribute to the world. It could make things better in some sort of way. It could move the human race forward. So that's my goal. That's what I want to do in the fitness niche. Like I said, I have some big ideas. I don't want to tell you guys just yet because they're still just ideas. Obviously, I want to grow my YouTube channel and get myself out there and build things. But before this video goes on too crazy, what I want to leave you with, guys, is that you can do anything you want to do. That's a very loose term. People say that a lot. You can do anything you put your mind to, right? Anything. It's actually pretty aggravating when people say that, and you've been spending 10 years trying to do something that hasn't worked yet. Nobody sees you, nobody knows you exist, but you put your heart and soul into it, and you're making more sacrifices than anybody else out there, but you're really not seeing any return. It's really frustrating Becoming an entrepreneur is like jumping out of a plane without a parachute and saying, I'm going to build a contraption on the way down that's going to save me. Then other people are going to see that contraption and like it, and that's what entrepreneurship is. And yeah, so other people are going to think you're crazy and that you're killing yourself on the way down. But once you get to the bottom and you've lived and you've created something in the process, they're going to be like, oh my God, like, wow. They're not really going to know what to say, but they're probably going to be part of it then. And can't expect more than that. People aren't going to take notice until there's something to take notice about. So what I want to leave you guys with here before this goes too crazy is, like I just said, you can do anything you put your mind to. There are rules. You have to be original. You can't copy people, because what works for Christian Guzman isn't going to work for me or you or anybody else, because what he did to get his start would not work in 2017. If someone popped up like the way his channel was 4 years ago and tried to start that way, it would not work. The standards are way higher. He created the cinematic edit, so people need to go above the cinematic edit and take it to the next level, and I have some ideas to do that. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. I'm not going to be vlogging that much anymore. I'm taking my channel in some different directions. I will still vlog some days, like I might still have a vlog or two during the week, but I'm not going to vlog every single day. I definitely feel like my vlogs are getting stale, because everyday life for me is just not that interesting right now, because I'm literally just dieting, working on the computer, checking in with coaching clients, and going to the gym, going up the mountain, coming back home, working, eating before bed dessert, watching Netflix, and then I'm going to bed. And that is my entire life. That is Jordan's life right now. And so if I documented that every day, there's only so many ways I can change the angle and portray my day and do a cinematic edit and this and that and that. And so I think of myself like a product. I'm thinking, yeah, there were some really good videos that came out of vlogs for me, but at the same time, it's really not that interesting anymore. And I can tell from you guys, the feedback is that it's not that interesting, because everything's dropped for me. My views have dropped off. Everything's dropped off on YouTube right now. And it's really hard to make a change when you're kind of in love with an idea or used to something and you've gotten pretty good at it. But here's one thing, guys. Here's one thing that I want to leave you with. If you're a smart guy or girl, even if you love something, work on it for as long as you can. Do whatever you can to do to get it to possibly work. Like, put your heart and soul into it for as long as you can. And do that and do that and do that and do that. But if you see that it's not working and it's not going to work, and you're going to be wasting the next 2 to 3 years trying to make it work and probably barely scraping by, and then you also see here I can make a change that's not going to be in a completely different direction, but that might make things better. So like, what I'm saying here, guys, is I'm not going to get off of YouTube completely. I'm not leaving YouTube. Don't think that's what I'm doing. What I'm going to do is work on different types of videos based off of my unique set of skills and knowledge that I've acquired over the years. And I'm going to make things that aren't yet seen on the fitness industry on YouTube. But the videos are going to take much more time, much more thought, much more research. So my schedule is going to be all over the place. I want to try to come out with a schedule soon, guys, but as for right now, I might have sometimes where I'll have videos coming out every day for 2 or 3 days. There may be other times where I'm working on a project and maybe I need actors or something to be in my project, and that might take 2 or 3 days to make one video, or even a week sometimes. So what I'm saying, guys, is I want to take this channel in a direction that you guys can really get a lot of entertainment value out of, that you can really maybe learn something new from that's not already on the internet, on YouTube. There's already a million videos about how to bench and how to diet and all this basic information. Like, that wasn't there 5 years ago. That's why people like Christian and Matt Ogus and all these other people were able to do it and create a following that way, because they were early adopters of the YouTube platform, and so that information was still coming out there. Now it's already there. So we have to do something different. We have to go above just the common information. We have to go above the cinematic edit. We have to go above the normal vlog. We have to evolve and adapt and move things forward. So I hope you can gather something from everything that I just said, guys. The point is to this whole video is that someone that doesn't think like this isn't going to like look at me or you or anyone that wants to do anything that's slightly out of the ordinary and say, you're smart, good job. They're gonna think you're crazy and probably a little dumb and stupid, and they're not going to agree, and that's okay. No matter what you're doing, guys, if it's a 9-to-5 job, if it's you want to become a school teacher, you want to go to space, you want to be the first person on Mars, you want to discover the first extraterrestrial activity on the moon, heck, you want to freaking work at a coffee shop, that's your passion, that's what you want to do, you want to work at McDonald's, like, your dream has always been to work at McDonald's, like, and everybody thinks you're stupid for that. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be done. There are steps to doing everything if you commit yourself to learning them and accept that there are going to be a shit ton of failures along the way, and develop the discipline by doing things over and over and over and over again and getting in a set routine and just learning how to learn and just get better and better and better and put your heart and soul into it. And it can happen, guys. It can happen. It's not a lottery. It's not by chance. It's completely by you using your brain and getting there. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video before it ends up being 30 freaking minutes long. I really hope you guys enjoyed the little cinematic at the beginning, or not even really cinematic, little video. That was kind of like me versus the me that I could be if I wasn't really me, and that was kind of me versus society. And I've also had that conversation with a ton of people before. I've been put down since I was 12 for me being different and my ideas for myself and the world and fitness and all this sort of stuff. So I love you guys so much, whether you're into entrepreneurship or have a 9-to-5 or whatever you do in life, whatever your goals, aspirations, and dreams are. I hope you got something good out of this video. I'll see you guys next time. I love you so much. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Comment if you have any questions or concerns, or you'd like me to make a video specifically for you. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Bye-bye.